Barkha, I want to now bring you in, and I know you have a slightly different view as far as the rest of the panelists. But is it fair for the victims today, who are two minor girls, to have questions raised against as far as the authenticity of their allegations are concerned?
See, firstly, I'd like to tell you there are n number of cases. POSCO misuse is on rise. I myself am dealing with many cases where I have seen misuse of POSCO. Now coming back to this particular case, the investigation is going on. The godman is participating in the investigation. What else do you want? Why are we jumping guns? Let the courts. I have full faith in the judiciary.
He's cooperating in the investigation. Nobody is doing anybody a favor. He's an accused. Yes. He's supposed to cooperate as far as the investigation is concerned, and that cooperation, quote unquote, is also coming pretty late in the day. The first couple of days, he actually tried to flee the mud.
What else?
So I'm trying to understand, what is the cooperation that you're pointing at?
See, I am telling you that after this arrest, my sources tell me that he has been cooperating in the interrogation. What else do you want?
The interrogation hasn't started, ma'am. The questioning still has to start. The judicial custody, the police custody has been given today. So the questioning will start 7 days after the FIR actually was filed. So I'm trying to understand where the cooperation is coming from.
Exactly. See, you cannot just arrest anyone on a mere allegation. There are so many fake allegations also. The police needs time, and now as per the court's instruction, he has been arrested. Now you guys were talking about the health issues. Anybody can have health issues at any time. So please don't do the mudslinging. The bad part of media here is they've already started naming and shaming a particular godman who belongs to a particular religion, Hindu religion, which happens every time. I have seen this. There is a pattern where we have always seen media doing this mudslinging whenever it is a Hindu.
Ma'am, if it wasn't for the media today, I really doubt that the seer actually would have been arrested. If the media hadn't followed this case in detail as we have, the seer wouldn't have been arrested. Let's be very clear with that as well. If there are accusations that are being made by two minors, are you telling me it shouldn't be taken seriously? And it's not just the Swamiji. There are many others from the mud who've been accused as well.
It's a very sensitive case. It should be. But we should not be judgmental. Let the court decide.
That's exactly what I was asking Sanket also, ma'am. The media was not passing judgments. It was the politicians who came out on day one and gave a clean sheet to this Swamiji saying he can do nothing wrong. That's when the media had an issue saying, let law take its own course, because you're already working against the victims then. The system is working against the victims. That's all. But Siddharth, I want to bring you in.
The politicians have no right.
Siddharth, I want to bring you in. I want to then understand, when you hear voices like these that, he's cooperating with the investigation. I'm not sure what cooperation has happened, considering the fact that he had an escape plan to flee as well. How do victims then fight up a system that is so flawed, on a system that is overwhelmingly so against the victims?
See, the first thing is, this is taking a religious angle, which it should not. Here, the person is the person who has been arrested, who has been taken into police custody, is accused number 1, against whom the charges of certain sections of POCSO and 376 have been invoked. Religion or his position in the society have nothing to do with this. That is point number 1. And the investigating agency, first of all, the POCSO was formulated in 2012 to protect the rights of these minor children. Because if at all these allegations are true, first of all, they would have been traumatized to next level. So these brave girls are coming out and, saying their version of the story. That should be supported by the investigating officer. As the other panelists said, even I agree, at this stage, it is not for us to decide who is guilty and who is not. It is for the investigation to happen in a free and fair manner, and the trial to happen in a proper way, and then the matter will be adjudicated.
But I also want to understand, Siddharth, you were saying your hope is, and I apologize for interrupting, but you're saying there is still hope that law will take its own course, but even what we saw play out today, it still looked like the system was still trying to shield him, because the hospital doctors were also supporting his narrative that he in fact had some sort of ailments and his situation was actually deteriorating, which was in sharp contrast to what we saw play out when he actually came out of the hospital and he looked absolutely fine. He got into the van. We didn't see any frail position as well. So is there still a fear that the system is possibly still trying to shield this man?
See, as I already told, the arrest has been done, so the investigation has just begun. And this is the exact reason why we are seeking for a court-monitored investigation. Because the developments which have been happening since 26/8, the registration of this particular FIR, the world is watching. So the Home Minister gives a statement in support of the accused, the local MLA visiting there, and the accused number one, the prime accused in this particular case, being allowed to, meet the press and tell that he is innocent and he'll come out clean of it, and other colleagues of his having a press meet and saying he's innocent, he's not guilty. So these are the main reasons why we wrote a letter petition and submitted before the registrar of Honorable High Court in Bangalore yesterday, because all this already, because of all these factors, prejudice has already been caused on part of the investigation.
Yeah, that's what I said when I started, that you could have just let law take its own course on day one itself.